Chest up, shoulders back. This is Revival Fitness, your home for gains and brains. And I was asked to react to this video. It's called Roid Renaissance Periodization, the UK's steroid epidemic. And as I've talked about a number of times before, and I always get pushback from people that don't know better, the prevalence of PEDs at this point is very widespread.
Everybody's on steroids.
It is not confined to ifbb pros and a few influencers and athletes and actors. These things are being used everywhere, all over the world. In the general commercial gym, I'm talking LA Fitness 24-hour, Golds, even Planet Fitness. At any given time, probably, at least I would estimate, 20% of the gym members on the floor are taking something. And also, it's not just the men, or the biggest men, it's men and women. It's big, it's skinny, it's fat, it's skinny fat, it's everybody. PEDs are as tied to gym culture as protein shakes. And no amount of virtue signaling or moral grandstanding is going to change that. It has not changed it in many decades, and really, you could say it's only really made the problem worse. And then that begs the question, is this really a problem in the first place? Because to play devil's advocate, are PEDs remotely as damaging on a grand scale as alcohol? I don't think it's even close. Are they as damaging as cigarettes? I don't think it's even close. And you can go down the list of all of these other drugs, and oftentimes these things are legal. Meanwhile, steroids still in the United States, at least in the general sense, are not. Obviously they can and will have adverse effects on your health. That said, oftentimes they are blamed exclusively for the deaths of fitness influencers and bodybuilders, and I think that gets overstated. Oftentimes when you hear about bodybuilders dying backstage at a show, it's not because of the steroids. It's because they get dehydrated to a degree that they die that quickly. No amount of steroid use is going to make somebody drop dead that rapidly. Diuretics, which you can buy in any general store, they can do that. And something that does not get talked about too is the use of other drugs on top of simply the steroids. Oftentimes when it comes to bodybuilding, especially with these big shows, there are a lot of other, shall we call them substances, that are being taken concurrently with the PEDs. Oftentimes a lot of hard party drugs, so it's really hard to pin down, get it, directly how much steroids are causing these deaths, or at least what percentage of impact that they are playing. You see in these comment sections all the time, oh well bro is a natty, at least I'm gonna live until 40. Yeah, in all likelihood, so is he. And on top of that too, some people would argue, and they would be correct in certain situations, for a given goal, PEDs are going to be required. A lot of people require alcohol to simply socialize on the weekends. Are these things ideal? No. Are they optimal for your health? Definitely not. That said, there are vices everywhere, and it can be very hard to stop them once you start. And something a lot of you guys have probably seen now, and you may do it yourself, is vaping. You seemingly can't go anywhere today without seeing these bellows of smoke. I've even seen it happen in the gym. Even if you are actively trying to kick your bad habit right now, it can be quite the challenge. But thankfully, the partner of today's video, Fume, makes it easy to swap out the bad for something better. You may not have heard this, nor did I until very recently, but flavored air is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking. And for good reason. There's no vapor and no nicotine, just naturally flavored air that actually satisfies. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that brings flavor to your mouth, not to your lungs. For years now, Fume has helped people quit vaping. It's not a vape, it's not an e-cig, it is just flavored air. And it fills the void that ditching a bad habit can leave, because you'll still have something satisfying to reach for and keep yourself occupied with. You can use Fume anywhere. There is no smoke, no vapor, it is 100% nicotine-free, with no chemicals, no batteries, no charging. All you have to do is pick it up and go. As you can see here, Fume has a lot of flavors that you can choose from. You could compare classical vape cartridges to soda, whereas fume is more like an herbal tea, giving you a sensation that you're used to without all of the negatives that used to come with it. Multiple third-party toxicology reports have been done on the inhalation and digestion of the plant compounds used, and they are backed by doctors in the United States, showing no adverse effects. So if you're looking to get started on breaking that bad habit, go to tryfume.com/revival or scan the QR code and use code REVIVAL to get your free fume topper when you order your journey pack today. Alright, bruv, so let's go see our mates over in the UK.
An estimated 500,000 young men in the UK are addicted to steroids.
Okay, here's a great example. We have a clip from TikTok, 1 month on trend, and it's just this young guy, but now we're going to see it more and more because of social media, and that snowball effect of social media is going to get more people on it than would be previously. Okay, he said an estimated 500,000 men. The only way you can possibly get that figure is by self-reported surveys, which are extremely weak data in their own right, but let's just go with it. Okay, 500,000. The United Kingdom population is 68 million, according to this, under 1%. That may seem like an extremely low number, like, well, what do you mean, bro? You said earlier that it was like 20% of people. I'm talking about people that go to the gym regularly. Not many people do that.
In fact, the Class C drug is the second most used drug after cannabis.
He said addicted. So also, in these surveys and all of these things, how do we identify addicted versus just general use? Okay, so the number I came up with, under 1%, that is so-called addiction. What does that really mean? You can't truly be addicted to steroids in a physical sense. In a mental sense, you can be, if you are addicted to the gains and the progress and the look that you get.
So when you train,
I've never done it.
the pump is unreal. But steroids come with some pretty alarming side effects.
Didn't Sam Sulek just post his back after his show? He had a lot of acne again, which, coming out of a show, especially, you're going to be eating a lot of junk after that too. That's a big hormonal cascade, so it's not really surprising. But even a lot of guys who aren't in that situation, like this guy here, some people react very adversely to given compounds. That's one of the biggest things genetically with PEDs. You oftentimes hear about the hyper responders, and they can take a little bit and grow a lot. Another side of that is, can your body handle even a little bit? Because some guys report they take small amounts and they will get major cosmetic side effects. Like this guy here doesn't look like he's taking a ton. You would at least hope not, right? And then there's other people, they could take lots and lots, and the cosmetic side effects are still going to be pretty minor.
Including liver and kidney failure.
We've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks.
As well as mood swings and increased estrogen, which results in men needing breast reduction surgery.
Oh god, please. Oh god. I get why they're showing it for the shock value, but I do not want to see this, bro.
From the dealers selling it.
There we go, he's just putting it right in his butt cheek.
To the young men taking it. Why is a generation of young men getting hooked on roids?
Okay, we're here in Cardiff, Wales. I don't know what that means.
I'm just outside Cardiff, in the valleys right now, and we're about to see Tom Powell. If it sounds familiar, it's because he was in season 2 of Love Island.
I've heard of that show. That's something girls tell you about. Did you see Love Island? You're like, no. And then they're like, oh, you need to see it. It's so funny, this and that. And you're like, yeah, okay.
He's been openly taking steroids for a number of years now. Do you still think there's like bad connotations with steroid use and like the whole stigma of your balls will shrink?
That's not a stigma, that's fucking true.
I've heard some guys say that that doesn't happen to them. Also, keep in mind too, man, I mean, look at this guy's physique. He's very built, but he's a great example of a guy. If he went on the internet and claimed natural, there'd be people that doubt him and say not, but the vast majority of people would not doubt him at all. His physique does not so-called scream gear, especially a picture like this one right here. I mean, if you said, is this natty attainable? 99% of people would say yes.
Yeah, my balls are tiny. Well.
Having balls hanging down below your dick is not the best look. And it only makes your dick look even smaller than it is.
He uses his platform to teach young men how to take them safely.
A lot of people always sweep this topic under the rug, and of course everyone's going to lie about it endlessly. That is the default setting. This is what pisses me off about the virtue signalers and the natty zealots, because in the same breath, they will mock anybody that uses them and who gets side effects and say, oh, look at these side effects, you got gyno, you got acne, you lost all your hair, you look like shit, still looks natural, bro, right? And then people like this guy, I've never seen his content, but they'll come on the internet and actually give some advice and say like, look, here are the harm reduction strategies, here's how you can structure what you do, and they will provide actual information to try to help people that are inevitably going to take this stuff, and then they say, well, you shouldn't be talking about this, bro. You're gonna tell the kids about them and get more people doing it, so there's no way to win with these natty zealots. Their solution is, oh, well, still don't take them in the first place. No one should take them. You guys live in a Disney fairy tale. This is real life. People are gonna take them. As an aside, how did Prohibition work out?
Tom, take me back. What was your physique like before steroids?
Back in school, I was a chubby little kid. So for years I was, till I realized girls don't like fat guys.
Very common, man. Again, you guys have to get over this idea that it's like only top athletes and elite level bodybuilders that start to dabble. No, bro, the average user is an insecure person who is either new to the gym or they've been in the gym for a while and they're not seeing the results that they want. And most people aren't, at least compared to what they see online. Because online they see people that take steroids, oftentimes a lot, and say they don't take any. And then once they figure it out finally and the light bulb goes off, they're like, well, shit, why am I not taking this stuff? I told you guys at the start, I'll say it again. So many guys in your gym on steroids are obese, or skinny fat, or whatever description it's going to be. They are DYEL. They do not look like they lift, let alone look like they so-called take gear.
When did you start taking steroids?
5 months after Love Island.
Was being on camera, did that affect how you saw yourself?
Yeah, I felt pressure to stay in shape more. It wasn't the reason why I jumped on steroids. It was a contributing factor. Obviously, I wanted to look good all the time because you're constantly in the public eye. The main reason why I went on Love Island is because I wanted to become a sponsored athlete. I met the guys that I wanted to become. I asked them straight away, I was like, boys, talk to me about steroids. Are you on them? And they said, yeah, you can't get anywhere in this industry without them.
And there it is. People would call that a black pill, but that is reality in so many cases. He mentioned, too, that he was asking the guys. They were at least honest with him. This is one of the funniest things, man, about the whole fake natty epidemic, because everybody online says, oh, I don't do anything, or the people that do get to a point where they're obviously taking them, they can't even lie about it. Oh, I only do TRT, bro. Only a little bit, bro. Right? If you get them in person talking, oftentimes they'll tell you all about it. But when it comes to the online image, which is what most people see, they're dead silent, or they say they don't do anything. And then in person, they'll be like, oh, I do this, do that, do that. You want to buy some here?
You can go into any single gym and buy steroids within 5 minutes of being in there.
Correct!
That's nuts, man.
They're very, very available.
So what's the biggest you've ever got?
120 kilos lean.
This guy must be pretty tall. 120 kilos off the top of my head. That's over 250 pounds.
5-6 years ago when I first started taking steroids, I wanted to be these, topless influencers that were shredded.
See, this is another great example, bro. He's got a good physique and then he's just covered in these tattoos. He's got these tribal tattoos like he's The Rock. Like he's Samoan. He looks like a white dude to me.
I wanted to be that. And now I realized that that was the wrong way to go about it, and that's not what the fitness industry should be. I take TRT now, which is called testosterone replacement therapy.
Ah, there we go. Only TRT. Okay, you can be the judge if he actually only does that now. You can see on the shirt here it says Only SARMs. That is one of my original jokes about this. I also have the Only TRT tank top that I made. This is all a joke. That's why I treat it as a joke. Because the dishonesty on every level is just so pervasive. It's believable for him at least. And that's the funny part too, right? Because he's only on TRT now. Assume he's being honest. You've got guys at the Olympia level saying, oh, I want a pro show on only TRT. Okay.
At a very low level of testosterone. It's not for muscle gains, it's just for replenishment of me. I've actually got a job now, if you want to see it.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
By the way, I gotta take my shot today.
Long-term steroid use impairs your testosterone production.
Like he's smoking a stogue.
Tom has to take TRT, a prescribed light steroid to help balance his hormones.
You don't have to take it. Now, you can reasonably assume that you should be taking it, especially if you have tanked your natural levels. That said, you could still get your levels back up and running even if it's going to take a while. I suppose in given circumstances, you may suffer permanent shutdown. I've heard people say they go on and they come off, and their levels will go back to normal eventually. It's not going to be easy, but it can happen.
Where would you inject it?
Today is my bum. There's a certain V in your ass where you're not supposed to go. So I'm going to be going around here. Wipe the area first.
Proper safety protocols.
Never thought I'd be staring intently into someone's bum cheeks today, but...
Welcome to bodybuilding, bro.
Cap off. Push all the air bubbles out. And that's ready to go.
The host's face here, he's never seen a shot, he's never got, even as a kid, he's, oh my god, bro, you've seen this before, come on.
There we have it. Wipe all around the area. And that is all done.
And that didn't hurt?
At all.
When you first started taking it, What were the side effects?
This is where I was taking tren my 3rd cycle.
Oh, okay, we gotta talk about tren.
A lot. My mood swings were up and down. Night terrors, which is horrible dreams every single night. Couldn't keep a hard on.
That might be one of the worst things, man. Because everyone gives lip service to the health side effects. Let's be real, most people really care about the cosmetic side effects and the bedroom side effects. Like, imagine you get this crazy physique, and these girls are like, oh my god, you look so hot. And then you get to the bedroom, and you're just sitting there limp.
I looked lean, I was full, it was great, but I felt like death.
You did something mad
Oh no, here we go.
recently, like you were having a surgery and then you live streamed it.
Yeah, I had gyno surgery. I'm estrogen sensitive, so when I was taking steroids, my estrogen built up.
Well, when you still are. I mean, TRT is still a steroid. It could be pharmaceutical and low dose. Still a steroid, is it not?
Why did you live stream it, bro?
To raise awareness, I know it's a bit crazy. The more people it sees, the more people it reaches, the more people are going to see it and maybe get checked out. So I thought, yeah.
Keep in mind, some guys get gyno during puberty without touching any PEDs. Like he mentioned, he's a high estrogen converter. Some people are just like that. Like, general puberty hormonal shifts can cause that for them, which freaking sucks.
And we, as a community, epitomise these people with 6-packs. And actually, these guys are so not healthy. Women lose their periods for life sometimes, not just a couple of weeks, just by doing a couple of bodybuilding shows, and people don't realize this.
This is something I've talked about too. It's why the fitness industry in general, but especially the bodybuilding subculture of it, it's complete delusion. Like, the looks that get so revered, right? The so-called conditioning, the shreds, striated glutes, veins on the abs, all this stuff, that's what everybody wants to see. But the more and more you go into that, the more risky you have to be with your health by default to get to these just crazy and crazy looks. And even beyond that too, even with natural, gotta put quotation marks around it, natural bodybuilding, assume somebody does stay totally natural, getting shredded is not healthy in any context. You never stop hearing about, oh, natural bodybuilding so much healthier. No, it's not.
Let's say I'm a young person trying to get into the fitness industry and I want to be the next gymfluencer. Would you advise me to take steroids?
Find your own path. I wanted to be in the industry so much. I listened to what anyone else did. Do your own journey.
This guy, from what we've seen, is not totally full of shit. He's not going to give the typical spiel like, oh no, stay natural and take your vitamins and say your prayers and you can accomplish anything.
Thomas suffered numerous side effects from his years of steroid use, including having to do breast reduction surgery as a result of gynecomastia.
Oh god.
The surgeon who performed Tom's operation, the self-proclaimed king of gyno, Dr. John.
This guy probably makes a lot of money from bodybuilders.
Dr. John is letting us film his next breast reduction surgery. His patient Grant is already in the waiting room. Why are you getting this done?
Like, everyone I speak to, no one notices it on me. But for me, it's a self-confidence thing.
Very interesting. A lot of that is fitness and bodybuilding in general, right? You already look good to the general public. You have all these flaws you can pick apart on your physique. Most people don't even see them at all. But to you, they're a big deal.
Talk us through your steroid use. When was the first time you started taking it?
18.
18?
Yes, I've been on and off it for 10 years.
Not uncommon. I see some kids now, not only in the gym, but like on TikTok and on Instagram. They are 18 or even younger, clearly been on for a while already. And keep in mind, man, you see all these influencers that are in their young 20s, right? Like Sam Sulek, for example, the one guy that turned pro at 19. I mean, to get to that size at that age, they've already been on for years. Like Chris Bumstead was already on for years when he was, I believe, 19 or 20. And the thing is, though, I mean, if you know that you want to become an IFBB pro at a young age, there's really no reason to wait. Like, I get the old adage, like, oh, you know, train until you hit X parameters in the gym, or say 5 years or whatever it's going to be, or maybe do a show naturally first. I totally get that. But if you know what you want to do and you're totally hell-bent, it becomes a matter of time. So logically, I understand it.
I started going to the gym, seeing nothing. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to jump on a course.
Course, he means cycle, I believe, but that's what a lot of guys do, man. They get bad information. And this is something I talk about a lot too, a lot of the errors that people make with not only their training and their nutrition. By the way, if you are in that situation right now, check out my training programs linked down below, as well as my Body Composition Bible full nutrition guide. I have everything you need laid out to make serious gains, way more than you ever thought possible. A lot of the times, man, people think they have the so-called bad genetics. Chances are, your genetics are not that bad, but the information you're getting is that bad. And then you think I have to go on gear so early to get decent results. That's why so many people go on gear to make novice and early intermediate gains.
Is it more for fitness or is it more like an aesthetic?
I am so unfit. Honestly, at my biggest, I was about 17.5 stone.
I don't know what stone means. I think it's like 11 or 12 pounds or 15 or something. But I love the honesty. This is never about fitness. That word fitness, it's in my channel name and the fitness industry, but the fitness industry is really the aesthetics industry. The bodybuilding subset of that too is even less about overall fitness, let alone the word health. I made an old video about this topic too, but these words get really misused for marketing purposes.
I couldn't walk upstairs. Like, generally, my breathing was terrible. I was just carrying so much excess weight that I didn't need. It's never about, like, the fitness. It's about the recovery so I can get bigger and bigger.
Are you still on steroids right now?
Yeah.
This hasn't stopped you?
Nah. I think the problem is I'm so far into it now. And I wish I'd never started, but now I'm on it, it's too late.
It's very common for guys to ask the question, well, hey, bro, can I do one cycle and so-called reach my natty limit on a cycle? The whole question's very funny, but they basically want to fast forward their so-called natural potential on gear and then come off so they could get where they would have to take, say, 8, 9, 10 years to get in the span of 6 months, perhaps, and then they can come off cold turkey, never do it again. That is a pipe dream. If you want to try it, be my guest, but one, I think you're going to get less gains than you think you will, especially some of these cycles you see that are only 8 to 10 to 12 weeks. And number two, you've been there before, you come off, you're going to want to go back on.
Dr. John is ready for you now.
Oh boy.
Nervous, currently.
I gotta wipe off the titties, gotta draw circles.
Is it ticklish right now?
No, it's alright at the moment.
This is the stuff that's hanging out, and here's the actual glands on you.
After applying a local anesthetic, the surgeons have filled Grant's breasts up with a liquid to help with the procedure.
Oh god, we're gonna have to skip soon.
Alright, let's rinse out the vaser now. Blow off the fat, break apart the glands.
That guy's got some milkers, bro. Look at those.
Next, they're going to extract the fat like they would with liposuction.
So what this does is breaking apart the fat, and the pseudo gland inside is partially fat and partially fibrous tissue.
But this type of stuff actually might stop people from doing it. Not just like, oh, you're a bad person, you're a cheater. Show this type of stuff. This is actually scary.
So we break apart the fatty parts.
Why that much fat, isn't it?
Oh god. Yeah, this is horror movie level shit. Okay, we're gonna fast forward, guys. I'm not gonna show it. You can watch the full video here if you want, but I'm not doing it. Alright, so now he's done. Oh god, we had to look at it anyway. Looks like 2 burgers.
I genuinely can't believe those massive glands.
Ah, they're zooming in on it in high definition. Ah, you fucks.
If that doesn't put you off taking steroids, I genuinely don't know what will.
If you think that's gonna stop people who are seriously about this lifestyle, you're mistaken.
Since steroids are illegal to sell in the UK, where do they come from?
He said illegal. I thought they were legal. Those of you in the UK, you have to let us know.
I'm in an undisclosed location and I'm about to meet an international steroid dealer who makes steroids in his kitchen.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, this is where the underground stuff comes from.
Yes, science!
It's like Breaking Bad. Walt and Jesse just cooking around in the RV and in the basement and stuff. Then they got the really nice lab midway through the show. But yeah, it's just household chemists.
What's going on right now?
So basically, a solution of nandrolone or Deca. We've got the raw powder here. Put a couple of chemicals in there, and I'm just finishing it off with some seed oil.
Not the seed oil.
This is the carrier. This is the solution.
Like, how do you get the right ingredients for it?
Well, I mean, if you're buying it, over the internet or even from your local dealer, you don't know what the fuck you're getting.
This can go for any drug. I mean, you've heard people that just even smoke weed talk about it was laced with something. You really never know. I mean, this can apply to really any product, man. I mean, we buy so much stuff even at the grocery store. And underground stuff, there's no real standards and practices for this type of thing, which I understand. But even for general products, you're just buying stuff in cans and in jars and in glasses. You have no idea what's in it.
Especially when you're injecting it straight into your muscle. Has it got hairs in it? Has it got bits of fucking shit floating in it that's going to give you, sepsis?
What's the wildest things that you've heard?
Well, I've seen some very dirty conditions. Smoking cigarettes over it, and the ashes dropping in, not getting filtered. I've seen people have injections and then go bad. They have to have the whole leg cut open and drained. It's fucking risky. There's not a lot of people actually making this shit. So the guy in the gym who's telling you, yeah, this is the best gear, how the fuck do they know?
They'd only really know if they've tried it themselves from a given supplier. And even then, if that supplier gets a new guy or changes, yeah, that could be a whole other problem.
Every time you take this shit, you're risking your fucking life, It's a lottery. Unless you're making this yourself or getting it from a pharmaceutical company, You don't know what the fuck's in it. Not everybody who makes and sells drugs is trying to kill people.
I don't think most of them are. I mean, it's like anything else, it's a job at the end of the day.
It's a grey area, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, ethical drug dealer.
Yeah.
The ethical drug dealer here in his ski mask.
What would you say is like your demographic?
It breaks my heart to say it, but 16 to 24 year olds.
That's right, I told you guys.
16?
Just as they're like sort of coming through puberty and this, you know, young guys wanting to just be buff or whatever. If you train properly, diet properly, take this shit, you're gonna feel indestructible.
That's another thing beyond even the physical gains that you get. For a lot of guys, especially if they come from a place of low confidence, even perhaps low testosterone, you get on this stuff way more confident, more arrogant. You can read online, guys talk about they started taking X, Y, and Z compound, and they're more aggressive, they talk to more women, they get laid more. Even at work, they might be more assertive and get more money, all this type of stuff.
All of these ingredients, are they like easily sourced?
Yeah, easily. The chemicals are just household, everyday items. Sourcing the raws, you have to order them from abroad, get them shipped in, and that's the riskiest part if customs sees it.
I don't know what they would do if they catch it. They would just get rid of it, or police take it. If it's addressed to you, that's probably not enjoyable to go through.
It wouldn't be uncommon for us on a bad month to make 50 grand and a good month to make 100 grand.
On a bad month, 50 grand?
Once again, guys, you see it right here, but nobody takes the stuff except a select group of elite athletes and bodybuilders and influencers.
There's filter paper on here, it's just a very fine membrane. If this is not filtered, you are for sure going to have big problems, okay? You're going to have gaping holes in your ass or in your shoulder or whatever with poison coming out. So this step is very important. We've got here finished product. I just do it by eye. Yeah, so now you've got your bottle. There it goes on. There you go.
He got free gear, bro. What a gig.
And if you put a light through it, you should say it's clean. There should be no particles in there. That's a good tip, actually. If you do buy gear, get a light on it. If there's shit floating in the gear, don't take it. There you go. Made in what? 30 minutes?
That's another thing too, man. A lot of these drugs that people make, underground stuff, even for pharmaceutical purposes, these are not massive investments. Like, the profits they can turn on this stuff is huge.
What would you say to any young person who's thinking about taking steroids?
Buy them from me.
Don't fucking take it, it'll ruin your life.
But do you actually believe that, bro? Like, I know why he's saying that, but it's like, if everybody thought that, what would you do with your business?
No fucking teenage boy anywhere in this fucking world needs to be taking anabolic steroids unless they've got a real medical issue that, you know, that needs it, you know, like, but, I mean, kids taking fucking trend, come on, man. You're gonna fuck yourself up.
I mean, we're at the point now, there is an entire channel, massively popular, the Trend Twins, right? Like, they're two dudes, I believe they're in their early 20s. That's their brand identity.
You're not gonna come back for it. You look like shit. You can't fucking shag your bird.
British people crack me up, bro. You're not gonna be able to shag your bird.
Now, John is making...
Yeah, there you go, camera guy. Keep the camera real close on him so we can get deciphering characteristics about his face.
50 to 100,000 pounds a month from making steroids in his kitchen.
So adjusted for US money, that's probably a good amount more too.
Who's to say other dealers aren't doing the same thing?
Look at this, man. I mean, this guy's got his windows all open, just illegally making drugs. Like, the police could just roll by. What are y'all doing?
It worries me that even the dealer is warning people not to take steroids.
Well, yeah, he's got to say that.
But for some athletes competing in the bodybuilding industry...
All right, see, here's another great example, right? We're using this show as an example on the Steroid documentary. Look at these physiques. Do any of these physiques strike you as on gear? I mean, this guy here especially, he's got no ass. That is beyond pancake ass. That's beyond flat back. It's like he's got a negative ass.
They would argue that taking steroids is a necessity.
Every single athlete today, it will be their first time ever on a bodybuilding stage.
Oh, it looks like we're at a bodybuilding show. Oh, this will be a train wreck.
We have our first athletes ready, I believe.
And once again, man, look at these physiques. Nobody would look at these dudes and say, oh, they're clearly on gear. And we can see some gyno right here on our boy as well.
With the bodybuilding community, do you think any of them would have been using steroids in their preparation?
At this particular show, I imagine most people will. There's two different types of federations. So FitX is a federation that doesn't drug test the athletes. There are certain ones who do, so obviously no one there will be.
No one there will be. Dude, I have a whole previous video about so-called natural bodybuilding and how faulty the testing protocols are. The vast majority of competitors never get tested. Sometimes they only will take a polygraph test. which is not a valid form of evidence at all. There's ways to beat drug tests. I mean, dude, the whole natural thing, not only in bodybuilding, but other sports too, but especially bodybuilding, because these federations don't have a whole lot of money behind them. It's such a farce. And you can see examples all the time of all these guys that are pretty clearly taking stuff and they claim natural, but they never fail a drug test, so they have to be natural.
As you said, no drug testing, probably no stigma towards that.
No, definitely.
Have you ever tried steroids?
Yeah, I think it was 22 when I started taking it properly.
What's your stance on some of your athletes maybe taking steroids? Do you advise it or not?
It's a good question, and I feel like it's something that someone needs to come to the conclusion themselves. A lot of men definitely have body dysmorphia, and they take the steroids to make themselves feel better, but it ends up having a negative effect.
Right, it's only going to amplify the body dysmorphia.
Have you or anybody else, do you know, are they taking steroids for preparation for this?
I do take steroids.
Oh, you do take steroids?
I do take steroids, yeah.
I gotta give these dudes credit for the honesty. Like, we've not really met one person yet who's just been a complete like, oh, not me, I don't do that, so props to them.
But it's all controlled, it's not abused. I have my bloods taken. Before and after a course. Would I promote it and advise someone to do it? No, I wouldn't. But for me, I'm competing against others that do it.
This is a classic example of like a low-level competitor. I've done a couple shows, guys, and I'm not a good bodybuilder by any means, at least currently, but classic example, look at this. I mean, his legs, no definition, pancake ass, big gut sticking out, right? He's got like the delts in the arms because that's what he trains the most and the hardest because he's a bro. And then just this whole physique, just not good at all. Like, this is never going to win anything unless he's in the older division and no one else shows up.
If competitions don't test for steroid use, hence allowing it, those competing often think that they won't stand a chance without it.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only exceptions are going to be very good genetics and usually it's going to have to be both. You've been doing it naturally for a very long time to be able to so-called level the playing field. That said, I mean, this show we've seen here, it's looked like a pretty lackluster lineup, so a legit natty could actually probably win this show, or at least place pretty highly. That's not going to be the norm, though, especially at the higher levels.
Since every single user I've spoken to says that they wouldn't advise anyone to take roids.
Right. Everybody that is involved and makes them and takes them, they all say don't do it. You ask people to drink and smoke, hey, would you want other people to do it? They'd be like, yeah, sure, come join in, bro. Steroids, it's like, oh no, don't do it.
Surely they should be banned from competitions altogether.
No.
David Crossland, a former steroid-using bodybuilder, has turned his efforts to harm reduction.
Probably the easiest way to describe eval is a blood testing company for people with alternative lifestyles.
Alternative lifestyles, that's what we call it now.
Minimizing the harms that people expose them to, be that steroids or be that recreational drugs.
How did you first get into using steroids?
I started steroids at 19.
Another guy starting them when his age begins with 1.
I finished steroids at 24, at which point I was very large, not in bad condition.
Yeah, this guy's a house. Look at him.
The potential to turn pro.
And once again, you know, all these tribal tattoos, something I noticed, man, with bodybuilding, men and women, people that like body modification tend to like steroids. I guess it's another form of body modification.
And then I tore my left pec completely off.
Oh, God. Was it a bench press?
And then I spiraled into depression. The renal specialist basically said I outgrew my kidney's capability of managing my physique. So I'm stage 4 kidney failure.
Jesus Christ. Also keep in mind too, man, the amount of food these guys have to eat at the biggest level is not good for you at all. Even if it's all clean food, just eating that much and gaining that much mass is not healthy. It's very inflammatory. And then on top of that, all the steroids too. Yeah, it's not good.
And that'll never get better.
Is it a lot of medication now? Is it like a whole lifestyle change?
No, not really. Not from the kidneys. We've got a lot of medication for the heart failure and the heart attacks, but not from the kidneys.
Heart attacks? Plural heart attacks?
Well, I had a heart attack, an official heart attack, an official myocardial infarction in end of November last year.
Do you know anybody who's died because of steroid usage?
It's difficult to say that someone's died because of steroids.
Yep, I mentioned that at the beginning, and people get really upset at this. It's impossible, really, to pinpoint steroids themselves. And also keep in mind, what if you're taking 5, 6, 7 steroids? Which one of those was the most consequential, right? There's no way to really equate for this. It's a lot of correlational stuff. And that applies to all kinds of things. You see all these studies saying, oh, red meat causes this. No, it doesn't. Any given food causes this, increases risk of this. No.
Are there people that have passed that steroids may have played a significant role in it? Yes, without doubt.
Right.
You can't OD on steroids.
He's right.
You know what I mean? You can't go and take too many and drop dead. It's a time thing. It's a constant abuse situation.
What advice would you give to an 18-year-old possibly considering taking steroids?
Will he say not take them, or will he go the more kind of neutral, decide for yourself route?
I have people come to me on a weekly basis that I'm telling them they're now testosterone dependent or they're now infertile. They're shocked by that revelation. You know, there is risk with these drugs. Learn the risks you're taking and then decide if those risks are worth those rewards.
I totally understand that. And once again, man, nobody just saying, hey, don't take it, bro, that's not going to stop anybody. It never has and never will.
Steroid use is rife in the UK.
And everywhere else.
It's extremely easy to get your hands on them, trapping men in a cycle that seems hard to break.
I get it.
From what I've learned, a lot of men turn to steroids when they're feeling self-conscious. With social media platforms often perpetuating the narrative, feeding us unrealistic body images.
Yeah, that's never gonna change. Not even worth talking about. All these videos get made. The male body image epidemic. Unrealistic standards, is that it's never gonna change.
There needs to be more education available on the impact steroids can have on men's lives.
It's not just virtue signaling and shaming and, no, you're a terrible person. You gotta talk about this openly. This can apply to so many things. Because people are gonna do it whether other people like that or not. Whether they admit it or not, it's going to happen. So resources and learning and open discussion, that's what actually can pave the way for safer use and improved harm reduction and all these things, not just saying, oh, you're a piece of shit.
Because if people are aware of the
Please stop showing this guy
potential risks, I doubt so many would take them.
Nope.
I don't think the number would drop as low as you think, man. Life is short. You know, people get their sights set on something, even if it's short term, and they're kind of like, whatever. You know, most people will take years off of their life if they can get a given goal sooner. I get it. I'm not going to cast aspersions, man. You know, it's life. It's a shit show no matter what you do. So shout out to Vice for that video. They covered a lot of good bases there. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to comment and already have that I'm promoting gear with this video. So keep typing. Stay mad. But this has been it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out Fume in the link in the description box down below to break your bad habit. If you want to get in direct contact with me, the best way to do so is via a consultation. Directly email me to set that up or join the Patreon. Check out my training programs and nutrition guide. Stop wasting your precious time in the gym and in the kitchen. And I will catch you guys next time.